What's up, guys? It's Destin5e, and today we're gonna be doing another video. But don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on notification bell so you can be a part of the squad. Let's get into the video. Alright, so today we're going to Serengeti Safari and Busch Garden. So I'm going to get on the safari truck and I'll see you there and you could join the trip with us. So let's go. We're going to go.
Well, we're going to get this up to a squirt of hand sanitizer in that green box there. We're good. We're headed out into our Serengeti belt and everything. It's about 70 or so acres of the park set aside for a host stop. We're going to see several different kinds of African antelopes, black and white rhinos, ostriches, wildebeest, a couple of different kinds of zebras. We'll spend about 10 or 12 minutes with the giraffes. And we'll do our best to get you licked and swallowed on by a giraffe. We're good, Danielle. First animals we see is going to be over here on the right side of the truck. This reddish brown antelope is a African antelope called the Nyala. Or forest antelope. They prefer the deep woods and thickets and they rely on their ability to conceal themselves from predators and the smaller reddish brown ones are the females. The big fella here by the tree is Tiberius. He is the male Nyala. Looks very different than the females. He's about twice the size of the females. He's a totally different color. Has a long beard and mane and a pretty impressive pair of horns. Tiberius is pretty new here. He's only been out in the habitat about 5 or 6 weeks now. Last time we had a male out here was in 2016 and 17.
Oh,
His
wow.
name was Woody, and he turned out to be a world-class stud.
Uh-oh.
He basically got the whole herd of 12 females pregnant twice.
Oh,
We had
wow.
about 20 calves born over the 2 years. Then we moved him out to give the ladies a break. Now we got Tiberius. We'll see how he does. We're good, Danielle. Right over here and visit with our giraffes. The giraffes in our park are reticulated giraffes. They're one of 9 different types of breeds of giraffe that are found in Africa. Their home range is over on the eastern side of the continent, just south of the Horn of Africa. Reticulated comes from a Latin word that means net-like. And if you look at the giraffes, it looks kind of like somebody threw a white net over a brown animal to produce the pattern of markings that you see, thus the name reticulated giraffe. And what's going to happen here, Danielle's going to find us a good place to park. We're going to hope that one or more of these giraffes will journey over to the truck and visit with us. When they come over, please do not touch the giraffes. When I give you the lettuce, what I want you to do is hold it up nice and high above your head. You want to try to keep the giraffe's head up out of the truck to the degree possible. This is Cupid. She's one of the matriarchs of our giraffe herd. She's about 21, 22 years old. She is a mother 2 or 3 times over, as well as a grandmother. Come on over here, Cupid. What you want to do is hold the lettuce up nice and high, just like that. And Cupid will reach over that long tongue and suck it right in. The giraffe's tongue's about 18 inches long. Various theories about why the last 2 or 3 inches of it is that bluish black color. A lot of people think it's to protect the tongue from sunburn. An adult giraffe eats anywhere between 70 to 100 pounds of browse a day. They spend most of the day eating, so it makes sense that the tongue would need some protection from sunburn. Humans have been fascinated with giraffes for thousands of years. The ancient Egyptians gave the giraffe its own hieroglyph, and there are pictograms on the walls of King Tut's tomb showing Egyptians leading haltered giraffes around on a leash, indicating they probably kept them as pets. Sorry guys, can't take a pet giraffe on me. As you can tell, Cupid's kind of a lettuce hog. If we came out here with a whole box of lettuce, Cupid would stand there and eat the whole thing. The lettuce is kind of a treat for them. In the wild, they're what's known as browsers. That means they eat the leaves and brush that they pull off the bushes and trees that they can reach with that big long tongue. They have teeth in the front of their mouth and the bottom. They have no teeth up here, and then they have molars in the back to chew with. Yeah. Lettuce hog is. Well, the fence are impala. Very fast, very agile antelope. Good reason Chevy called one of their cars Impala. The large brown antelope there are eland. They are the largest of the African antelopes. Males can get up to as much as 2,000 pounds. And right here, this is Wilma. She's one of our African ostriches. The other two, Thelma and Louise, like hanging out together over on the north belt. Wilma likes it over here with the giraffes. In fact, she's best friends with one of her giraffes, Bee. And we kind of suspect that Wilma may think she's a giraffe. Here's our other two African ostriches coming up here on the passenger side of the truck. That's Thelma and Louise. The ostrich is the fastest two-legged animal on the planet. They can sprint at 40 miles an hour and they can run 30 miles an hour for up to 30 minutes without becoming exhausted. Over here on the driver's side, up on the hill there, the fuzzy brown antelope up there are ellipsin waterbuck. The ellipsin part comes from a white elliptical marking they all have around their rump. Given the name waterbuck, what kind of habitat would you expect to find waterbuck around? If you guessed water, you'd be exactly right. They are very dependent on water, both for sustenance as well as protection. When the waterbuck's threatened by a predator, it will quite often run into the water in order to escape the predator because they know that lions and leopards don't like to get wet. The light tan, fairly large antelope up here on the hill are greater kudu. Larger animal, lighter tan color, but very closely related to the Nyala that we saw at the beginning of the tour. Another forest antelope that spends most of its day back here in the woods. They come out late in the afternoon and early in the morning to graze. All of these are females. The male greater kudu is a magnificent animal, about 600 to 700 pounds, has a long beard and mane and a pair of curling, twisting horns that can be up to 5 feet long. And then over here on the other side of the tree, everybody hang on. We're good, Danielle. Crossing the railroad tracks there, and over on the other side is our group of white rhinos. White rhinos are the larger of the two breeds in Africa. They top out at around 6,000 pounds, about twice as large as the black rhinos. Where black rhinos tend to be pretty solitary, white rhinos are much more social. They like to get together in groups that are called a crash, and the ladies gossip about their boyfriends and their kids and have a big old time. We have 5 white rhinos now. Combo is our resident male, and then we have 4 females, Lucy, Kasiri, Leilani, and Cassie. Lucy's the one right here with the big long horn fixing to walk past the tree there. She's the largest of our white rhinos. She weighs about 4,500 pounds. Funny story about Lucy, we periodically weigh the white rhinos here in the park as one of the checks on their health. One of the times when we weighed Lucy, when she got off the scale, she pooped and peed. So the keepers, out of curiosity, just put her back on the scale to see what the difference was. 86 pounds.
Wow.
The pretty brown antelope with the long backward curving horns are sable antelope, one of my favorite animals out here. Very majestic looking animal. Most antelope, when they're threatened by a predator, will choose to run away and hide. The sables are a bit more belligerent. They will quite often stand their ground and fight, particularly if they have young calves to protect, and they are more than capable of defending themselves with those long horns. One of the other names for the sable antelope is the lion tamer antelope. And then up here to the front driver's side of the truck, the large gray antelope with the curved horns back there are wildebeest, or bearded gnu is the other name for them. We're good, Danielle. The wildebeest and these common zebras that we saw on the other end of the North Belt here are the primary animals that take part in what's called the Great Migration. It is the largest migration of land animals on the planet. It's led off by about 250,000 common zebras. They are followed by about 1.5 million wildebeest, and they're followed by another 300,000 to 400,000 Grant's gazelles, Thompson's gazelles, and some of the other antelopes. Migration starts down in the southern Serengeti, just north of the Ngorongoro crater area in Tanzania in March at the end of the rainy season. The animals proceed in a clockwise direction, west, then north, up through the length of the Serengeti, across a couple of rivers, up into the Masai Mara in Kenya, and then eventually back down to the southern Serengeti where they started. The whole process takes about 9 months, and the animals will travel about 500 miles over the course of the migration. And what the animals are doing is following the seasonal weather patterns and the seasonal rain so that they have access to abundant water and graze. Interesting fact about the Great Migration. We're good, Danielle. There are so many animals in the migration, they stretch out over such a long distance and raise such a large dust cloud, you can actually see the migration from the International Space Station.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
When we saw our ostriches, pretty obvious what this is. It's an ostrich egg. Our ostriches are pretty old, and we don't have a male ostrich right now anyway, so they don't lay fertilized eggs, but they still lay eggs like chickens and other birds. And we occasionally find them out here on the Serengeti and pick them up and use them as artifacts. What I want you to see is how hard this thing is. I weigh about 200 pounds. I could stand on a freshly laid ostrich egg without breaking it. And that's exactly what it looks like when the ostrich lays it. It is. And now you might wonder, how in the world does the baby ostrich get out of the egg if it's that hard? Well, the baby ostrich has a razor-sharp dew claw on both of its feet, and it uses that to cut or scissor its way out of the egg. Busch Gardens is an American Zoological Association accredited zoo, and like all accredited zoos, we follow something called the Species Survival Plan, SSP, which is put in place to ensure the overall health and genetic diversity of the animals that are in captivity. It includes a database with the family tree of each animal. So when we want to breed a certain species, we will go to the SSP plan, find a male that is not paternally or maternally related to the animals in our park, and then we'll see if we can work a trade with that zoo in order to get access to that male for a period of time for breeding. We're good, Danielle. Most of the animals here were born and bred right here at Busch Gardens.
Oh, okay. Do you have meetings in a circle?
What's that?
I saw the stones in the circle.
Yeah, we used to do what they call night safaris here.
Oh, okay.
And we're good, Danielle. We would bring people to the park at night to get some hors d'oeuvres and lions and hippos and hyenas at night, and then we put you on the truck and take you out for the night safari. See the animals at night.
Oh.
And then we'd have a little campfire gathering with some fun things around the campfire there.
Oh, that's cool.
up because I didn't want to get slobbered on and licked on and stuff. I'm good. I'd rather just feed it instead of doing all of that. So I just fed it like this. If it's a short piece, I put it sideways. It's a long piece, then I just be like, here you go. So yeah, but the giraffe part was really cool, and I figured out a new thing. So I was wondering what a wildebeest was, or a wildebeest, or wildebeest, somewhat. I think it's wildebeest. So yeah, I was wondering what that was, and they actually had wildebeest there, and it was really cool to see them like that, because I didn't know what they were. And excuse me if I said emu. I did say emu, actually. It was an ostrich. See, I haven't seen an ostrich in a while. But it's all good. So, what else? We saw a lot. In the beginning, we saw these cool animals, and the females were very different from the males. As you can see, like, it's the first animal that we see when we first go in. So as you saw in the beginning. So it was really cool to see all the animals, especially the rhinos. I was kind of scared they were gonna come at us maybe because they're like territorial, but they weren't those type of rhinos. They were white rhinos, which are more sociable. That's a word. And the regular rhinos, like the black rhinos, they're more territorial per se. So it was really cool to see all the animals. I hope you enjoyed it too. And I wasn't talking a lot because I was listening to the instructor, but I was having a really good time. It's really cool riding on the back of that truck. So I hope you enjoyed, and bye-bye. Alright guys, so I'm